o Fórum de Boas Práticas, o Fórum, perdão, do Agita Mundo Network, que vai nessa manhã discutir uma programação que vocês têm aí nos anais do simpósio e que nós vamos, com prazer, estamos recebendo todos vocês. We are very happy in receiving you in the Agita Mundo Forum this morning, where we have a quite active and agitating section with many presenters, and I'd like to thank all of you to attend our invitation, and hopefully we can manage to get success in the end of this session, controlling the time of the presenters. That's not a difficult task, considering the date is today, and we have an invitation for everybody to be in the opening ceremony at 6 p.m. In the main auditorium when we started this symposium. Hopefully we have everybody in that ceremony, and when we will be celebrating 40 years of existence of our research center. Okay, we are going to start the forum. And that is the agenda for this morning. We have a welcome overview, and then we have the main topic of our discussion, that is how to implement a global agenda to promote physical activity. We have some presenters from the national perspective: Oscar Diaz Ernesto, Jorge Correa, Rocio Gomes, Maribel Parra, and Douglas Andrade. And afterwards, we are moving to the international perspective with Dr. Stephen Blair, James Skinner, Bill Cole, Claude Bouchard, and Aimin Lee. And after we have, that's very important, at the end of the first part of this section, we have official picture. At the official picture, which we please ask you to move to the front of this auditorium, permitting that we make the picture in the very practical and shorter time, because we have a tight time and the coffee break is a little bit small time we have for coffee break to restart again with Michael Pratt and Detlef Dumont, who is just arriving from the airport. Then we move to discuss quickly how to best take the Olympic Games opportunities, and we move it to the World Day for Physical Activity, a summary of the celebrations, preparation for the celebration of 2015, and the most important is the choice of the theme for 2016. Okay, let's start. We wanted to just give our memory and our sympathy to Ben Saltin, a colleague that we lost recently, and who has been in this auditorium, who has provided a wonderful lecture during the International Symposium, and who became a close friend of CELAFISCS colleagues. And unfortunately, we got a tragedy loss of him last month, and we are dedicating some memory for him. Among our activities, we have a chairmanship rotation of the executive board. O que está acontecendo? O problema é na tela. O problema é com a tela que está piscando. Okay, we have a quite interesting flashing presentation. Brian Martin used to be our chairman during the period 2011 to 2014, And in Rio, we moved to a new chairman, and the new chairman is Vic Lambert from South Africa. And Vic has sent a message that we go to share with you now. Vicky is unable to attend this meeting, but she sent a message to share with you. Today.
Hello, Agita members, friends and colleagues from CELAFISCS, and global agitators for physical activity and health. I'm so sorry not to be able to be there in Sao Paulo in person to celebrate the extraordinary success and impact of CELAFISCS, the global exemplar for social mobilization for physical activity and health. I want to congratulate my brother and sister, Victor and Sandra Matsudo, who have led the world in promoting physical activity for health, and who have literally changed hearts and minds, working tirelessly and selflessly. I'd also like to congratulate all of the warriors for physical activity and health that gather the evidence, that translate this evidence and disseminate it to guide policymakers, that develop and implement interventions, and that partner with practitioners to evaluate programs and interventions. And finally, to all of the unsung heroes, the teachers, nurses, doctors, physical educators and sports coaches, exercise physiologists, sports therapists, healthcare workers, and community leaders. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the founder of Agita Mundo, Victor Matsudo, and its past chairman, Brian Martin, as well as all of the members of the executive board for their steadfast support. Hello, Agita members, friends and colleagues from CELAFISCS, and global agitators for physical activity and health. I'm so sorry not to be able to be there in Sao Paulo.
Okay. We had a Agita Mundo session at the Rio Conference, International Conference for Physical Activity and Health, and now we are starting to discuss the central topic for the World Day for Physical Activity 2016. This is just some warning in regard to that topic that will be later in our agenda this morning. But because that is very important, we want to share with you some of the suggestions we have already established from the RAFA meeting in Santiago last month, where they arose at all these topics to be among the ones we may discuss. And this is just a warming up, of course, so you may have any suggestion from the auditorium to sum to these 15 different topics that were suggested in Santiago RAFA meeting. That is in English. This is, Next. Next. This is in Portuguese. Next. And this is in Spanish. Agita Mundo Secretariat is divided in CELAFISCS and in the Ministry of Health from Argentina, where Oscar Carboni is leading the Secretariat activities. We have Agita Mundo in 72 countries, 573 members, and these are the countries we are established. And in Oceania, we have Australia, in American countries, in European countries, and in Asian countries, in African countries. And we have, as usual, one of the distinctions of this network is the scientific support background we have behind our activities. And for example, just to summarize the most important findings in the Lancet 2012, Aimin Lee has presented a wonderful paper in which she appointed that 5.3 million deaths is happening in the world, becoming physical inactivity the second leading cause for death. And this is a very important message that we should take into account to try promote any effort to combat this tremendous, this terrible enemy. Another factor is that the sitting time becomes more relevant to in the international scenario of physical activity, and we can easily see that the people who are spending most of the time sitting has the least survival among the 5 different grades of sitting time. And of course this is terrible, and we should correct this. And the suggestion of Agita Mundo is to reduce sitting time, and reducing sitting time, standing for 5 minutes every 30 minutes sitting, or standing for 10 minutes for every 60 minutes sitting. We are launching this wonderful program that is Levanta Bunda Brazil, that buds up America, according to the data. Coming back to the more serious, we have now 2 recommendations to take at least 30 minutes of physical activity and reducing time. But recently appears the information regard to non-exercise activity thermogenesis, in which we can see easily that the one who are more lean stay more time standing and walking, in comparison to the obese who spend less time standing and walking, more time sitting. And recent another paper that shows that when you compare people in exercise typical program to the ones just to make a minimal physical activity intensity, the group of minimal intensity physical activity got a better response to insulin and to lipids, showing the importance of short time physical activity in promoting health. Then, in other words, we ask people just to move in any time of the day. And now we move for 3 messages: the 30 minutes message, the diminished sitting time, and the move as you can. We have the news, Agita Mundo News. We have the portfolio. We have the portfolio here for the one who want to take this home and to make your institution member of Agita Mundo Network. Just take this in the interval. We have the best practices, the best practice book, and we also have a couple of them for the ones who want interest to take a look and see the best practice in promoting physical activity around the world. We have our website, and the portal agita.org.br is the address of our portal, our website, and it's quite active website. Social mobilization is very important because we think that the behavior of people is linked to the social perception of the risk people has. In other words, the perception of the people guides their behavior. In other words, the social perception of the risk is given by the relative risk times indignation. And the relative risk of physical inactivity is tremendous high. But indignation against, in regards to physical activity is tremendous small and little. And then the social perception of the risk is small. In other words, many of us, we have the situation in which someone from the family died because he got diabetes, the other one died because he got a heart attack or a stroke. And people consider that a part of the life. It's normal. It's not normal at all. We need to increase our indignation, because if we see in our family someone dying because he got HIV, we are completely react, because HIV has an unbelievable amount of indignation, although the relative risk to get HIV is tremendously lower than physical inactivity. The social perception of the risk to get HIV is higher, then guides the behavior of the population. In other words, we need to increase indignation of a population, and for that we need social mobilization. That is why we have to celebrate every year the World Day for Physical Activity. And this year we got with the slogan, physical activity, a golden goal for health. And that was the slogan for this year. We have a meeting during this celebration this year with many colleagues from the high scenario in physical activity promotion around the world. And We have a forum to discuss best practices in promoting physical activity. And now we have official logo for the World Day for Physical Activity designed by people from Barcelona. Our Barcelona colleagues, they are outstanding in social marketing, and they prepared these two logos for the celebration, official celebration of World Day for Physical Activity. In Rio, where our colleague Bill Cole was the president of the conference in Rio, we have a walking parade right after the opening ceremony. That was a success. It's outstanding. You see, it's not easy to take researchers to become more activists. And it was a good surprise for us that we could really mobilize all these amount of people through the beaches in Rio. In Rio also, we gave the best celebration of our day physical activity. Our colleague Carlos, where is Carlos? Onde está o Carlos? Carlos, he is the leader of Agita Bocaiúva, and he got the Man Award for the celebration of World Day Physical Activity 2013. And that is Bocaiúva. You see how... Quantos habitantes tem Bocaiúva, Carlos? Bocaiúva is a city of 48,000 people, and you see that many of those people are in the streets walking with Carlos for celebrating the World Day for Physical Activity. And that is the impact of the media of Agita Bocaiúva, and it's really outstanding. Congratulations. We have now pictures from São Paulo walking parade, where we can see different colleagues, Mike Pratt and Fiona Bull, Adrian Bowman, and other colleagues here, Dr. Geddes, and all these people were agitating here in the streets of Sao Paulo during the walking parade of Agita Mundo Network, Agita Mundo, the World Day for Physical Activity. We are ready to celebrate next year on April 6th. See Brian Martin and Fiona Bull. And this picture really shows why we are so happy in change the world, because you are not praying for the people just to move their body. You are praying for the people really move their mind, move their mood, become happy, as more happy as possible, because we are naive in considering that we just pray for people just to move, because most of the people don't get pleasure just to move. We need to find ways that make people to consider fun to move, and that is a good example how is Agita Mundo is working to make people happy when moving. We had 46 countries, 1,800 events around the world celebrating the last World Day for Physical Activity. These are the figures for each country, how many celebrations for each country. It's outstanding. That's Israel and Argentina and Colombia. They were so good as well. And Uruguay got 45. It's not bad. Wonderful. Okay. That's it. If you have any question to this presentation, I'm ready to try answer any. If you don't have any, we go to move to our agenda. And we have the first presenter, that is Dr. Oscar Diaz from Uruguay. Dr. Oscar Diaz is a cardiologist from Uruguay who is leading a wonderful network of Uruguay. Is the RAFU, the Red of...
Bueno, buenos días para todos. Dos cosas interesantes. La primera es hacer una presentación